Apple just killed half of their Apple Watch product line with one release. Yes, that's right. At WWDC, they announced watchOS 27. Now, currently, it's just in developer beta, so it's not going to affect you until September. But once this is released, watches such as the Series 6, Series 7, Series 8, and even the Ultra 1 and the SE2 are gone. They're not going to be supported in watchOS 27. Yes, they will still technically run in watchOS 26 and be fine for probably a few more years to come. But the thing that's crazy is that they dropped support for the Ultra 1. This is a device that is still doing well. I still have heard from multiple of you that even your battery life is over 90%. And now it's not going to be able to get the latest release. Now, I've kind of dived into why this could be happening, and I even have my iPad out here to give you some visuals and kind of let you understand, because I still think there's a chance that we could change Apple's mind with this. Maybe, I'm not positive, but this just isn't a move that Apple is probably making lightly, and maybe they're still thinking about it, and maybe they just decided to do this with beta 1, and if people speak up enough, then maybe before the actual release in September, they could change their mind. So to understand what's going on, we're going to be talking about chip 1, chip 2, and chip 3, and all of these are Apple Watch chips. The first chip is a dual-core CPU, and it has a 2-core neural engine, and this is the important part that we're going to be looking at a lot today. And this one was given to the Series 8, the beloved Ultra 1, and the SE2. So keep that in mind. These are all the ones that are getting dropped, including even the older ones. Like those have a different chip that's even less powerful than these. And those, I'll be honest, those kind of make sense. I don't know if we're going to get the Series 6 and Series 7 added to this, but I still feel like you might could get this one justified. Now, chip 2 did have a big increase. So this one had 5.6 billion transistors, which was 60% more than chip 1. It also had a 30% faster GPU, but once again, this is the more important part. It had a 4-core neural engine, so 2 extra cores. And that's really important when it comes to Siri. And that's really important when it comes to Siri and AI. And then it also had a storage bump of 64 gigabytes. Now this one came to the Series 9. And Ultra 2. Now move on to another year, we got chip 3, and this was the exact same chip as chip 2, but smaller. If you remember with the Series 10, that year, it was only the Series 10 that came out. There was no Ultra that year, and Apple focused on making the Series 10 a thinner chassis. So with the case being thinner, they had to make the chip thinner, but they didn't actually increase the performance of it at all. So basically this was originally just the Series 10, but skip another year, and rather than upgrade the chip, they decided just to go ahead and give this to the Series 11 and the Ultra 3. And during this, they released the SE3 as well, and that actually got the chip 2, which was just a larger version of chip 3. So all of these that are staying basically have the exact same chip. One's just smaller than the other. So why does this matter? So if you think about it, every device that's going to be able to run watchOS 27 on day 1 has the exact same chip. Now, obviously, we'll also get the Series 12 and possibly an Ultra 4, and they will hopefully have a better chip than what we've had for the last few years. But it's still kind of this weird thing where Apple's just deciding that obviously they need this 4-core neural engine to be able to run Siri more effectively and the AI stuff, even though I still wonder if they really need it. But that's not where it stops, because there also is some confusion with the Series 9 and Ultra 2, because originally the Series 9 was left out as a supported device, but it does work. Now, people also kind of are curious if that's going to get the new Siri. I can't see it not, because it basically has the exact same chip. Apple just admitted that they left it out by accident and they added it back. And if you didn't know, I am running the beta and the new Siri is not even there. Like, I activated on my phone, but they don't give you the option to activate it on the watch, at least not in beta 1 yet. Now, Apple could change this at any time. They could do something server side and activate it, but I don't really see that coming till a later beta at this point. But the real thing is the majority of this watchOS 27 is just performance improvements that any watch running watchOS 26 could really use. Now, Apple has made watchOS 26 a lot better over the last year. I think the battery life has gotten really good. I've not had anywhere near as many problems as I originally had, so that's really nice, but I still think these could still run watchOS 27 just fine without Siri. Like, Apple could give us that ability to not have Siri on the Series 8, Ultra 1, and SE2. So why are they doing this? Like, I'm not really fully sure, because even the whole dedicated Siri on the Apple Watch is still kind of like, we don't fully know what all it can do. Some are speculating that it's still going to rely heavily on the phone to actually get things done. And if that's the case, then any watch can do that. But I still think there's going to be some more on there to where it's going to be using on device a lot more than what I think people are expecting. And of course, to do that and do that well and do that right, it does kind of make sense to make sure everything's running on the same chip or better when they come out with the new ones. But obviously, Apple has been struggling with AI for the last few years, and maybe they've just gotten so frustrated trying to get even versions trying to work without the AI on devices that they've just decided to just drop them to make it easier on them. I still think there could be some wiggle room. Apple is not against changing their mind during betas. This is the best time to reach out to them and let them know. The best way to do that is when the public beta comes out, install it on your phone. There is a feedback section. You can reach out through that. You can also email them directly. I'm sure there's multiple support at apple.com, or I believe you can even do Tim Cook at apple.com or something like that. You can search up his email. It's fairly easy to find, and supposedly he does read it. I'm sure somebody goes through it before he gets to it and kind of correlates it and just removes a bunch. But it is there, and you can reach out in multiple different forms and fashions to let them know. One way, you can comment on this video and let me know what you think, and we'll just kind of have conversations down there about all this, because I know it is frustrating and I know it's making a lot of people angry, because these devices still have plenty of life. And once again, I don't want to just like leave it out. It's still going to run watchOS 26. It's still going to be a perfectly fine device. Let me just be honest, the new stuff is not all that nice. Like, let me just show you real quick. So basically, you have this new launcher dock system, or whatever you want to call it. It is updating now. If you watched my old video, it didn't update in the beginning. I rebooted it and that seemed to fix it, but you still have the same grid system as before. One thing that's super nice is with the double tap, you can now single tap, and that will launch that app, which is super nice. I really do like that feature. But that has been the majority of the update so far. And, you know, it is running well. Like, I will say that for a first beta, it's doing pretty well. I still highly recommend that you do not install it, because I've had some issues with iOS. And once you install a watch beta, there's no going back. Like, you have to stick with it or send it directly into Apple and go a few days without your watch. So keep that in mind when the public beta does come out. Highly recommend do not install this on your main device. If you have a secondary device and you want to try it out, go ahead, but just know that it could mess it up. I've had to send watches back in the past. Last year, it completely ruined my Hermes watch, and I had to send that back to Apple and get a whole new one. Like, they couldn't even it was nuts. I just don't know. It's so weird for Apple to do this. So I really feel like they have a reason more than just money, because they know they're going to be ticking people off. They know that their user base is going to be so mad, because this is such a massive cut in products that are going to be supported. Now, once again, they're probably going to keep supporting watchOS 26 for a while. They're not just going to drop it. They usually still update any kind of major security issues and stuff like that for at least another year, maybe two, maybe even longer with this one since they are cutting so many devices. But it's still one of those things to where people want to be on the latest releases and they're not going to be able to. More than ever are not going to be able to when it comes to watchOS 27. So let me know your comments down below. If you want to see my video on watchOS 27 or iPadOS 27, I have the videos right here for you. I would love to talk to you in the comments as well. Leave a comment and I'll do my best to respond to every single one. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.